Oh boy, that was fun. I was sweating like an absolute proverbial. The carnage has shattered the bearing housing, and as you just saw, I had to cut the bearing off to get it up, to get it off the shaft. Put a little mark in my shaft, that's fine, doesn't matter. This has got 4 keyways in it, which I'm hoping to be able to use at least the 2 important ones. Well, of course I can use the end ones, but I'm hoping I can use those for the sprocket and the rotor. But for now I'm going to get this cleaned up, get my bench and all my tools and everything sorted out and cleaned up, and build another swing arm for the 125. I've got that motor there. I could have just, you know, done some like pretty much flip the axle and put that straight in. Like, obviously I'd have to redo this part, but could have done that and used that motor, but I don't want to use that motor yet. I really want to use this one. This is for my cart, not for yours, it's mine. Okay, clean it up time. I just wanted to show you this. This was brand new. Leather, copper. I cooked it. It's still good, but it was brand new. It was much taller than that. Alright, so as you just saw, I bored these out. There's a nice little shoulder in there. And these get the bearing, and it slides onto this tube. So it's going to get welded around the back. There'll be a bearing, a washer on the axle to go up against this bearing on the inside, and then the wheel hub flange all bolts onto that, and then this will get cut to length depending on where the sprocket and disc is, and I'll try and use those to retain the other side of the bearing that will go in there and on the other side of this pipe. Now I got to pull apart the old rear swing arm, get the engine off it. I want to try and use the sprocket and the disc. I'm going to put you on another time lapse and get to tearing into that. Alright, I got the bits that I wanted. Got the mounting flanges, disc, sprocket, caliper, engine. But for now, so I'm going to try. I want to use these. Position already the engine as low. Well, that's clearly too big. Close to the I'm thinking about possible. Cutting this piece of spline out. Because these are spline. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Yeah, interference. Cut that piece of spline out. Shove it in there, weld it. There's a keyway slot chuck here. It in the lathe. I don't mind if it's further out. To fit that. I don't mind if this side of the axle tube is longer than this side. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. The only thing it'll do is I'll be able to cut this, body, drill it, and I'm okay with that. So I think I'll soon find out. as you just saw, I got these drilled and bored. They fit on this shaft nicely. I am hoping to use these keyway slots so I don't have to make new ones, because I don't really have the tooling for it. And I'll still have to cut keyways on the inside of these hubs. Look at that, I cut myself a keyway. My very first keyway. Now, this guy didn't fit in there, it's too wide. This guy over here is useless, it's blunt. Blunt as. So what I did is I had the recip saw, put it in there, cut a groove, just a groove with the width of the blade. Then I got this triangle file, and then made a V, and then tried to get this one there, which I discovered was blunt. This one wouldn't quite fit, so I had to make a tool. I made a broaching tool. This one here, super simple. That's high-speed steel. This is mild steel, round, solid, 16mm. This is a 16mm high-speed steel bit that I've just cut flush, put a grub screw in, drilled it on an angle, gave it back clearance and top clearance, and it slowly but surely worked. And here's the little chips it cuts out. It's like tin foil. But I'm going to be doing a similar thing with the next one, this one. Some welds, doesn't matter. I didn't want to take away all the weld. So I'm going to put this in here, get the recip saw, put a groove in it, and that acts like a chip breaker, so there's not as much load on that tool that I just made. So I'm going to show you bits and pieces of it. So this time I put 2 slices in it with the recip saw. Probably not quite deep enough, I can always come back to it. Now I'm going to take it over to the lathe and start broaching it. Here's a bit of real-time footage for you. Slow going. Tiny little bites. If you try and get too greedy, it'll just stop. Don't try and push too much. Break something. Tiny little bites of it. See if we can get you at another angle. There's the keyways. So you see that little groove in there? That's from the recip saw. And this one's got the same thing. And there goes that key forever. I'm gonna mock the engine up on some blocks. Make sure this axle's level. And start working on the new swing arm. Watch this. there it is. I just can't get over that surface finish. Right, so as you just saw, turn this up. The finish on that is amazing. I can't get over it. Anyway, I cut this bevel on here. So that's going to go on this 8mm disc. It's going to be centered up and then welded just like this one. Clamp is very important because I threw a tack on there and went whoop. So I have to cut the tack, grind it, and clamp it. So I'm learning from my previous mistakes. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I'm going to chuck it back in the lathe. Right, so as you just saw, I got these machined up. I got a really cool finish on this. It's from Chatter, but I like it, and you'll never see it, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Anyway, so I've measured on the inside of here to the shoulder. There's a little shoulder in there, and the average was 25mm. So that'll give me a few millimeters play, which won't matter. They will be in there plenty far enough, and then they'll be welded. So I did a quick measure on them. So there's 25 on each side, so that's add 50 to whatever number this is. So this is 150mm, so you add your 50 and that'll give you 200. And that's roughly there to there. And then the shoulder is within a few millimeters of that. So I've got it written down, so I won't forget. So I'm gonna go with the bandsaw, chop them out. And there it is. It's not welded yet. So first I want to mark these areas, grind this black off, a bit here and here, before I weld it. There they are. I decided to go with this like large tacks for a cleaner look. It's just a preference. You will see one side of each. And they're plenty strong enough. I'm happy with them. So I'm going to get them back on the axle and then start making the bracing that holds the whole thing together. Kind of looks like a diff with a disc brake, but it's my axle. So I've measured it from there to there, and from there to there, equal. I'm happy with that. So just chuck some marks on there. Now I can build a structure that connects the two, and that the engine mount and swing arm will all attach to said structure. CROC rods, subscribe. Alright, after lots of tinkering and looking at stuff and dodgy little... I've figured it out. I've cracked the code. Right, I've got 4 bits. These 1, 2, 3, 4, all identical, all scalloped, just on that little grinder there. So I'm gonna tack them. This one will move further out that way a little bit, but this is just for testing purposes. So tack them, find this angle in here after I've measured it, so this is square or parallel to the axle. Measure the angle, cut the angle in half, and then that will be my miter angle here, and that should give me a nice join. Then I'll be able to grind it up and weld it and run it flush and make it look pretty. This will also double as my caliper mount. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. Throwing in time lapse. Might just go ahead and do both sides. Exact same on both sides. Let's go, let's do it. Check it out, it's all done for now. Nice and flat, nice penetration. I had the welder turned up a bit and then I turned the wire speed down so I get a flatter weld, especially along here, so I wouldn't have as much grinding to do. And it worked a treat. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing, commenting, liking the video. It's completely up to you. It's all free. Until next time.